we are going to be covering a range of motion and band-assisted static stretching. So what does that mean? That means that we're going to be using some sort of belt, strap, object that is long and somewhat sturdy to stretch our muscles just a little bit deeper than we could normally. So that could look like this, which is just 3 soccer socks tied together into a rope. It could be a pair of pants folded on itself and twisted up a little bit. Could be a formal stretching band, which unfortunately I don't have an example of for you, but it's a nylon strap that's about 4 feet long. So really anything that's about 4 feet long, doesn't have too much give in it. Even a heavy resistance band could work for you this morning. But why are we doing this? So stretching in its purest form trains your muscle fibers to get longer. So we have this wonderful thing in our bodies called homeostasis, where our body doesn't like to go outside of normal limits. But with stretching, you need to teach your body what normal is. And so by stretching your muscles, you increase those fibers slowly, showing your body, hey, you can do this and not get hurt. And so stretching regularly, something like 3 to 5 days a week for maybe 20 minutes at a time, can just elongate those muscles, increase that normal limit, and improve your flexibility and your range of motion in your joints over time. It can also decrease soreness if you do it right after exercise, just by pushing some of that junk out of the muscles and getting it into the bloodstream so that it doesn't just sit there forever and surround those fibers and get all just nastified. And then also it allows for the relaxation and tension release after exercise. So we're exercising, we're contracting those muscles, making them super short, and then stretching just gives them a chance to just let go of all that tension that you created. So if you have your band ready and are feeling nice and good, grab your water. Water's always good for our recovery. And we're gonna get started with a warm-up. So I'm gonna show all of our warm-ups and all of our exercises and stretches from a seated and a standing position. I apologize for my rolly chair, but it'll get the job done, I promise. So we're gonna pull that right out over here. Here's our seated one. So our first exercise for our warm-up, we're going to do 30 seconds of pendulums or monkey arms. So if you're seated, you're going to be doing the monkey arms. Push this up a little bit. So that means you're seated, you're sitting up nice and tall with your spine straight, and you're just going to have one arm above your head pointing up, one arm to your side pointing down. You're going to swing your arms back and forth quickly, just alternating one arm is up and one arm is down. So do that for 10 seconds. If you are standing, your exercise will be a pendulum. So you'll do a forward fold with your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance apart. Lean forward so that your back is still nice and supported. And reach both hands to one foot and swing gently from one side to the other. You can kind of let your head hang and your whole body is just swinging back and forth. We're going to do this for about 5 more seconds. Then we will switch to our next exercise. Alrighty, so our next exercise, whether you're seated or standing, will be arm circles. So for arm circles, you're just going to extend your arms to your sides to make a nice T position. And then you're going to start with forward circles. So start really small, rotating your arms forward. And then you can get bigger as you go until you've reached your largest range of motion. So for me, it looks like this. For you, it could look like this, just whatever's comfortable. And then we're going to switch directions going backwards. So we're going to start in those small circles. If your shoulders pop, that's totally okay. You can't hear it, but mine are popping. And we're going to get bigger here and go into your largest range of motion for 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so the next exercise, also seated and standing, it'll be the same thing. It'll be a shoulder shrug or a shoulder roll. So if you're doing shrugs, you're just gonna pull your shoulders up as close to your ears as you possibly can, and then push them down toward the floor. Shrug them up and then down. If you feel comfortable, you can do rotation. So pull up toward your ears, push back so that your shoulder blades kind of touch. Release down into that downward shrug. Push them forward, hunching your chest together. Back up to your ears, just in those real big rotations. We'll do this for about 5 seconds, and then we will switch directions. If you're doing shrugs, that's okay. You can just keep shrugging and switch directions here. 10 more seconds. All right. So now we're going to move into a trunk rotation. So if you're seated, then it'll look the same. Just try not to smack the back of your chair or any handles that you might have. So I'm going to bend my elbows out to my sides so that I'm in a downward field goal position. So my palms are facing the ground and my elbows are bent, and I'm just going to rotate from right to left. Slowly, you don't want to go too fast. And my head follows my spine in this rotation while my hips stay forward. Do this for 10 more seconds. Alrighty. And then we have a trunk twist. So I'll show this both seated and standing. So the trunk twist, if you're seated, you will go lean forward into a forward fold, come to one side, lean back as far as you can in your chair, to the left, forward, and back around. So you can do this both directions. We'll do it for 30 seconds each way. So just lean as far as you can to each side, to the front and back. If you are standing, then you will do the same thing, but you will kick your hips to the opposite side of your head. So I have my left hip out toward my left side and my head coming toward the right side. And then I lean back while my hips come forward. My hips go to the right, my head goes to the left. Then my hips go back as my head comes forward. So you're just moving your hips in the opposite direction of your head. Just roll all that out. And this actually works the same muscles seated and standing. So take your pick and then we will switch directions. The more motion you can get, just really get it moving. Alrighty, and our last exercise, whether you are seated or standing, will be our neck rolls. So you can drop your chin to your chest and then roll your right ear toward your right shoulder. Lean the back of your head toward your back and the left ear to the left shoulder, chin to the chest, and just make those circles. Slowly feel that stretch through all those neck muscles. You might even feel it up your spine a little bit. We got 5 more seconds this direction and then we will switch. All right, and switch directions. And after this, we will get into our full stretching routine. Alrighty, so if you are ready, then we're gonna start with a hamstring stretch. So I will show this on the chair first and then on the floor. So I will do that for every exercise, just chair first and then on the floor. So our first one is this hamstring. And so the hamstring is the long muscle along the back of your leg here. So to stretch it, we're going to put our foot out in front of us, place that band around the arch of our foot so it's nice and sturdy. And then I'm going to hold on to each side of the strap so that my leg is extended out in front of me. Now, you're going to pull those bands in towards your body, and this will lift your foot straight up. You don't want to have any bend in your knee here. And then go until you feel just a mild discomfort, not pain in your leg, and just hold there. If you don't tend to use your legs all that often, don't pull much higher than 90 degrees from the floor. So you want to stay just about here. If you can feel your hamstring, that's great. Keep moving until you feel that pain. But if you don't have any sensation, just for safety, try not to come too much further than right here. And so we'll do these stretches twice for 15 seconds each on each leg. And we will do a nice breathing exercise as we go, and I will explain that as I stretch on the floor here. So same thing, I'm going to have the band around the arch of my foot, and then I'm going to lay back on the ground. So I'll lay back, and then I have my straight leg in the air. My toe is not flexed at all. My foot's just relaxing. And then I'm going to pull down on my band until I find that spot where my leg is at that slight discomfort. And then while I'm stretching, I'll breathe in for 3 seconds and then out for 3 seconds. When I breathe out, I'm going to try to just go deeper into that stretch. So that means I'll pull a little tighter on my band and try to get a little bit of a further angle with my legs. So I'll breathe in 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. Breathe in 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. 3 rounds of this. So in 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1, and I will relax. So we're going to do every single stretch twice per side. So I'll relax for a second. And then we've got 3 more rounds of breathing on this leg. So if you're seated, pull that leg up. If you are on your floor, then you can lean back. Going to breathe in 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. Breathe in 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. Last round 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. Relax, and we will switch legs. So you can just move that band to your opposite foot. Remember, just around that arch. We're going to lean back. Have that other leg nice and straight on the ground, or just bent comfortably on the floor or while you're sitting on your chair. And you will breathe in 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. Come deeper into that stretch if you can. Breathe in 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. Breathe in 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1, and relax. So you can relax here just with your leg bent down, or you can come up to seated, whatever is comfortable for you. If you're on the floor, if you're seated, just drop that foot. Alrighty, everyone. So we can grab that band one more time and lift that leg for our last hamstring stretch. So we're going to breathe in for 3, 1, 2, 3 and out 1. Breathe in 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. In 1, 2, 3 and out 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, awesome job on those. Feeling a little bit looser. Now we're going to move on to our IT band and obliques. So this one will look different from a seated position. So of course I'll show that to you. So if you are seated, you will be either pulling your hands to your knees. So I have both of my hands just cradling just behind my knee, behind my calf, on the underside of that hamstring where we just stretched. Or you can string that band right under. This will help if you have any sort of limited range of motion. And you can hold on to the top. You have both sides of the band bunched into one. We're going to lift this leg up and then pull it across your body. So if you're using the band, I have it in my right hand and I'm pulling up toward my right shoulder. If you are not using the band for this one, or you're just holding your knee, you're going to pull up to your chest and across to that shoulder. Hold here. If you're comfortable, you can also just hug that knee with your right hand. So I have my right elbow on that knee, and I'm just kind of hugging it in my body. You can do that one. Then if you are on the floor, it will look a little bit different. So we're going to have our band position just like we did for that hamstring stretch. So I have it under the arch of my foot. I'm going to start out like I'm doing the hamstring stretch. So I will be back, put my leg in, and then what I'll do is if I have the band on my left leg, then I'll have the straps both in my right hand. And I'm going to pull my foot across my body so that my big toe is coming down to touch the floor. I'll change angles so you can see this a little better. So if I have my leg up in the air, I let it drop across my body, and I want my shoulder blades to be on the ground the whole time that I'm doing this. And we're gonna breathe here for 1, 2, 3, out, 3, 2, 1, in, 1, 2, 3, out, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Back to center. Gonna rest here. And then we're gonna get right back into it. So bring that leg up, drop it to the side, and do that breathing. So breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. In and out. And if you're doing this and you're like, wow, my shoulder blades are really not coming to the floor, they're trying to go off of the floor, that means you either have your leg too far or you just need to find something to hold on to. So I have my chair here. I can hold on to my chair and just pull my shoulder blade into the, and that just helps to stabilize this stretch. And then we're going to switch to the other leg. So again, wrap that band around the arch of your foot. I'm going to have to slide over, I'm going to kick something. And then I have my foot straight in the air like I did with the hamstring. It doesn't have to be completely straight, wherever you're comfortable with tightness here. I'm going to switch my band into my left hand and let that right foot, that right big toe drop toward the floor. I'm still holding on with that left hand. And don't lose tension. And I want both my shoulders on the ground. We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 1. Breathe in and out. In and out. Last time, in and out, and relax. I got one more on this side. Remember, we're just trying to deepen that stretch gently on our exhales. You want to stay where you are on the inhale. So as we breathe, breathing releases tension in the same way that stretching does, just mental tension than the physical tension. Alrighty, so we're going to go into this round 2. Breathe in, and out. One more time, in and out. Excellent. So we're going to come back up, and now we're going to start with a couch. So seated, a little bit different than standing, but not all too much. So I'm going to leave this toward the floor so you can actually see my feet and what I'm doing here. So for this one, we're not going to band in the same spot under the arch of our foot anymore. We're going to have it around our toes. So if you have a thicker band, like I have this sock, I would recommend pulling the whole width of that band across your foot. So seated, you'll have your foot down and you'll just pull upward on your toes so that your toes are trying to almost come up and point towards your face or your knee. And you'll pull up and just feel that into your calf. If you're able, you can push your heel toward the floor while you do this, and that'll just deepen that stretch just that much more. If you are standing, or I guess on the floor, then you will have the band at the same place right across that toe. And then you will have your leg straight out on the floor. You can see my leg is straight on the floor. And then I'll pull that strap so that those toes come toward my face. I'll change my angle so you can see how my foot bends. So my foot is bending in toward my face. So rather than pulling that band up toward your face, it'll slide off. So what you want to do is actually hold on to that band only about 6 to 8 inches from the foot, and then you're pulling down towards your knee, the floor under your knee. That's where you're kind of aiming for. All right, so we're going to stretch our calves. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and out, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in and out, in and out. All right, and relax. You can push that toe forward if it feels good. Just move your foot, whatever you need to do. All right, everyone. So we are going to continue with this stretch. So we're going to breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Out. 3, 2, 1. In. And out. In. And out. All right, awesome job. So we're going to move to the other leg. I'll show this one from a seated position. So I have bands again under that toe, just chilling on the floor here. And then we're going to breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. Remember, we're pulling those hands just back toward your elbows are coming in and out. And relax. Awesome job. So this last lower body exercise is going to stretch our hips and our quad. So I'll show this seated first, as always. So it's going to look similar as to our IT band stretch that we did earlier, where we either had our leg or our band wrapped under. So if we're starting with the band, we're going to hold the band in the same hand. So I have it wrapped under my left leg, and I have both sides of the band in my. I'm going to pull my leg straight up so that my leg is coming straight up toward my chest. Now, if this is enough of a stretch for you, you can hold on with both hands. Just make sure you keep that whole band on the body. If this is enough for you to just hold here, that's great. If it's not enough for your hip and to feel this, then you can hug that leg with hands and just pull your arms towards your body so that you're bending in line with your chest. You have your leg just bending in, and you'll hold here. If you are on the ground, it'll look just slightly different. And so we're again going to put our band around the arch of our foot. I'm going to show this on the right leg so it's closer to the camera. And we're going to lean back, but this time we're going to allow that knee to bend. So when we did our hamstrings, we had our knee straight. On this one, we're going to allow our knee to just bend in toward our chest. We're going to roll back onto our backs and pull kind of down and toward your face with that band so that your knee pushes toward your face, and the top of your thigh where your quad is is bending toward your chest. Now, again, same thing as seated. If this is enough for you, great. Just hold on to that band. If it isn't enough, wrap both of your arms around and just pull down with your hands so that your hands are pushing your knee toward your face, and you're just pulling down toward the ground. So I'm going to show this one from seated, and we are going to get started here. So my head's cut off. Alrighty. So I'm going to start with my left leg. I have my band underneath my knee. My band is in my left hand as well. I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to hug my knee to get a little bit of a deeper stretch. And breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 1, in, and out, in, and alrighty, and we will switch legs here. Breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. And relax. And we're going to do this. It'll be a similar stretch. I know we only did one on each leg because this stretch will work our backs and those same muscles. So it'll look very, very similar. If you're seated, we're going to bend forward instead of pulling our legs up. So you'll do this forward fold. You'll reach your hands. I'm going to bend this down just a little bit so you can see this better. So we have a forward fold, and then I'm going to wrap my arms under my knees, and I will just pull and hug myself as tightly as I can. You don't want your back to be curved, so if you can only do this, that's okay. You'll just pull up on your legs. They won't go anywhere, that's okay, but you'll just pull up here. If you are on the ground, then you're going to have the band wrapped around both feet. So the arches of both feet, here we are. And then we're going to pull those knees into our chest while we lay back. So we're going to lay back, pull our knees back toward our chest by pulling on that band, just straight back. So I'm pulling in line with my knees and my calves. This isn't enough for me. I can hug my knees and just pull down. And we'll hold here. 1, 2, 3, and out. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, and out. 3, 2, 1. And relax. And we're going to do this one more time. So with either the band or the knee hug, get ready to go. For 1, 2, 3, and out. 3, 1, and out. In and out. Last one, in and out. Excellent work. Grab some water here. So our last sets of stretches will look the same whether you are seated or standing. So I'm going to move the chair away. So our first stretch will be for our shoulders. So we're the band with both of our hands. You want your hands to be about a foot or shoulder width distance apart. And you're going to extend it in front of you with your palms facing the floor. And then what we're going to do is just raise our hands. I'm going to raise this up a little bit so you can see the whole. We're going to raise our hands above our head so we make a nice Y, like we're dancing the YMCA or something. And then I'm going to hands apart, so my pinkies are trying to reach the opposite walls of wherever I am. So you're reaching your hands up as high as you can into the sky and pushing your hand. If this is not enough for you, you can pull your hands back even further so that band sits just behind your head, like so. So we can start here and just push back whatever is comfortable. So we're going to breathe in, 1, 2, 3, out, 3, 2, 1, breathe in and out, in and out. And if you notice your shoulders creeping up towards your ears like this, just relax and let go. Do that one more time. So start with our hands out in front of us, shoulder width apart, pointing down toward the ground. If you're a little bit wider than shoulder width, that's totally okay. We're going to lift our hands up, breathe in, and relax. Push your hands out, breathe out, in, and out, in, and out. Last one, in, and out. Excellent work. So we stretched our shoulders. We're going to stretch our back now in a similar way. So for this, you're going to hold your band behind your back with your palms facing behind you. So if you can see that, I've just reached around my back to grab the band, slid to shoulder width distance just about. I have my hands out behind me. I'm going to push my hands up toward the ceiling so my palms are going toward the ceiling. They're not going too far. And then again, I'm going to push my pinkies toward opposite walls and breathe in and out, in and out. In one more time and out. Awesome. Relax. I'm going to show you a little bit more how to get into this stretch. So if this is not enough for you, like I said, lift those arms up. But while you lift your arms up, we want to be aware of those shoulders. So if our shoulders coming up towards our ears like this, it's harder to see in the back. But our shoulders coming up towards our ears and our neck feels like we're getting all squatty, then just relax. Pull those shoulders back. Let the shoulder blades touch each other. So we're going to breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. Excellent work. So our last, or our second to last arm exercise will be our triceps. So for this one, we're going to hold our band in one hand. So I'm going to start with my right hand, have my hand facing my screen, and I'm just going to lift that band up toward my head. I'm going to allow it to swing behind my head, and then I will bend my elbow down like I'm trying to scratch my back. So here the band falls down my back, and I reach around with my other hand and grab onto that band. So I have my top hand so that my palm is facing my neck, and then my back hand, my palm is facing away from me. Hold down with that bottom hand and just let that top arm relax. So this will stretch in the hand that you're pulling with and the tricep and the hand that you are reaching down your back. Breathe in and out. Last breath in and out. And we'll relax here. Just kind of let go of that band with the right hand or the left hand, whatever one was pulling down. We're going to go back into that position. So right hand over your head, bend down like you're scratching your back so your palm faces your neck. Reach for that band with your left hand facing away from your body and pull gently. Breathe in and out and out. Breath in and out. Excellent work. Now we're going to switch to our opposite hand. So for me, it's my left. I have my band in my left hand. Reach up over my head. Whoop. And then I bend my elbow down like I'm trying to scratch my back. My left hand, I have the palm facing my neck and the band down my back. I reach around with my right hand, grab onto that band, palm facing away from my body, and just gently pull down on that band with my right hand. In and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Relax. And one more time, reach our arm up, bend it down like we're scratching our back, palm facing the neck, opposite hand facing away. And gently pull that band. So that top tricep is working, that bottom bicep is working. And breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Last time in and out. So we're going to drop our band for this last stretch. Just going to do some forearm and wrist stretches. I'm going to start with my left hand. Put my left hand toward the screen. I have my fingers pointing toward the ceiling, palm facing the screen. Then I'm going to take my right hand and put my right palm across my left fingers. And I'm going to just pull back so that my left are facing toward my face. And breathe in and out. Here I have my elbow completely straight as well. In and out. Last one, in and out. Excellent. And now we'll just flip that hand over to stretch the other side of the wrist. So instead of having my palm facing the screen, I have the back of my hand facing the screen. The palm is facing my face. This one, if your elbow is a little bent, okay, this is kind of an awkward bend. And then I'm going to take my right hand again, place it across the back side of my left fingers, and still I'm pulling those fingers toward my face. This can be a little easier sometimes if you put your palm across these knuckles in your left hand. So your right hand can go across those knuckles of your left hand, and same thing, just pull those fingers towards your face. Breathe in and out, in and out. Breathe in. Excellent. So while we work the other hand, I have my hands pointing, or my palm screen, hand across my right hand, palm across my, wow, I can't do rights and lefts. My left hand, this one, is across my right fingers. I'm just pulling back with my elbows straight so that my fingers are facing my face. If you're wondering why we're doing this, these are excellent when we use our weights in any of our other classes like HIIT or Stay Home, Stay Fit, or our paddle sports workouts. We're working those wrists a lot. If you use a wheelchair, your wrists and forearms are constantly working. I'm sure you're very aware of that. And we're going to switch our hand over, work the other side of our wrist. So I have my left palm across my right knuckles, and I'm just bending toward my face. This one, my elbow is bent. Because I'm not super flexible on this one, but if you are, that's awesome. Get your elbow as straight as you can. And so all these exercises, we're just focusing to release any of that tension on those muscles that we will work this week or that we worked last week. Breathe in one more time and out. Excellent work. And that is the end of our stretching session for today. So range of motion and static band assisted stretching. If you're looking for stretching bands, you can find them on Amazon, Walmart, really anywhere that sells exercise equipment. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, intern@Adaptive Adventures, and I will get back to you. I can send you resources on how to stretch other muscles. We can talk about maybe strategies to modify those stretches if you're in a seated position, or if you have any range of motion difficulties, just let me know and I would be happy to help you. Thanks for joining me today.